I felt fickle about this assignment. As I mentioned at last week's meeting, I'd considered too many ideas at once and found myself overwhelmed before I began. What's new? Several starts from the video side were scrapped. I journeyed and wrote from the poem side. Themes of water and surrealism emerged. Many of my dreams depict a great flood, not Hokusai, but more like a Flood McDonald's kind of thing. Anyways, I found a suitable video and a bit of ephemera from my childhood. How tickled I was to find the flamboyant colors juxtaposed over these broad and featureless spaces for which colored names I've never thought to assign. The tension of gateways and opportunity inspired me, and like a boy again, I watched myself watching myself, attempting to account for patches like stone lines flanking a staircase. I kept myself awake doing this, until a slip-up had me falling heavy into the subconscious. Here, before I could do anything so far as to gain bearings, I was essentially dead, a type of used and heavy thing, lacking the capacity to move along as I once had become accustomed to. I felt ashamed. I felt sorry for how flippantly I'd expressed myself, that I'd taken for granted some things that I can't now put my finger on. This wears off shortly, and rather than carry the sentiment on that I might learn from it, I began immediately searching for cheap tokens. In short time, I began to sense the estranged nature of this world. I moved like a baby. My motor functions lack coordination and have the quality of being controlled by some underwhelming actor behind a screen. I keep these possibilities open as I continue to gather coins. The actor seems to consider both gathering coins and not gathering coins as possibilities, and I awkwardly do both while bobbing like a flounder with a busted swim bladder. Whether or not this currency is useful, I plan to parse apart later. It seems familiar enough, gathering, and just to bide my time, and just in case. The lingering notion of an observer persists. Some part of me knows that I have fallen from grace. Like a third party, I take account of my attire. It happens that I still have my lucky hat, which matches my shoes, and otherwise I'm wearing a kind of onesie with gloves. It's not youth, but maybe a memory, patched and pieced together, improvised and justified, to make a monument in place for the inexplicable vacuum of time past. In other words, maybe this is but a dream. While I pick the rest of these coins, I will relay trivia to you. I learned this in a Tibetan Buddhism class, that the Tibetans have a visual aids to describe the relation with the gods in heaven above, and that is by means of a cord affixed to the crowns of their heads. They maintain a beautiful posture. It's here that I consider the notion that this underwhelming actor and my virtual self dressed in bright overalls are the same, and in this notion I gain mobility in a fit, and I feel self-actualized. I dive deeper and I became proud of myself for manifesting clarity. I think, yes, what forbearance I have demonstrated, and the pride sticks to me, it seems, or something, because I'm a molasses man again. If there is a God, he must be pretty boring, I think to myself. For example, just look at this landscape and its repetitiousness. What half-baked providence. What once I took for something deeper now strikes me as cheap. I become introspective. I wonder if I'm focusing my attention too much on women rides around lemonade stands, obsessing on detritus like a schooling mullet, like a creature of prey or a clam. My toil is represented like a pearl in the form of my physical body, a shouldered pearl, an eye, an atlas. I become flush with potential embarrassment. What an embarrassing thing to be caught thinking, I think to myself. A solipsistic inquiry brings to me to test arbitrary barriers. Are these but perceived, a construct? I wonder. No sooner am I testing these walls do I realize the irony of my experiments. I feel more acutely the all-permeable wetness. My clothes become a cold second skin, trailing my swimming movements. It occurs to me how alone I am, much as I try to make connections to oysters and bluegills. I take solace in the depths of my inquiry. It is cold, my thoughts go clear. I've banked on this. My conscription becomes automatic, like pieces of mana. The tokens substantiate my experience. How special this is. I am, too. An accountant. I'm accounting for my breast. Holds. Checks. balance, breath, senses, power, dull hairs.